Welcome to Hobby Clubhouse, with a look at an out-of-production kit from yesteryear. This is the Bandai Mecha Collection Dragon Gundam from 1994, which you may remember from the Gundam Shop Volume 2's basement, where this Mecha Collection line was listed among some discontinued products. And I happened upon these while I was in a store in Hong Kong, which always gets random leftover old stock. I don't know where they get them all from, but they always get different stuff. So thanks to them, here we are today with a look at this kit. But first, let's talk about some background. So the name of this product, Mecha Collection, doesn't really mean anything. It's a name that Bandai stuck onto an ultra-budget model line, and it could have been any other name, and it really would have made no difference. Bandai has for many years chased after that ultra-low price point. Back then, from the 80s to 90s, it was the 300 yen price point. The original 1144 RX-78 was 300 yen. And they tried to go back to that price point when Zeta Gundam had a couple of 1 to 220 scale kits. As you can imagine, they were never that successful, but that doesn't mean Bandai gave up. Oh no, in fact, we still have that same philosophy even today, more successful than ever arguably with the entry-grade RX-78, which everyone agrees is quite the stellar budget kit. But back then, in 1994, they really had to cut a kit down to the bone to give us Dragon Gundam for 300 yen. But there is a brilliant twist to this that you'll see later that you may not expect. First things first, the Mecha Collection Dragon Gundam was released in August 1994, and it sold for 300 yen. The box illustrator is uncredited, but it looks like something either done by the animation staff or taken straight from the animation assets. The box measures 12.5 by 19 by 3.7 centimeters, and the top lip is 2.5 centimeters tall. The particular one I have still has the hole and punch, which you may think that makes it worth a lot more money, but really, even though these kits are rare, they're not valuable. The one I got cost me 70 Hong Kong dollars, which comes to around $9 US, and that's probably as high as anyone should ever pay for one of these. The box itself features a neat little cutout window, but given the basic color of the kit, I'm not so sure that was such a good idea to be so eager to show us all those two colors inside. The top has the same box art, and it's mostly the same bits of information. And on the bottom, we have a quaint little sticker sealing it up, and we have this old style product code which used to include the recommended sales price for the kit, 300 yen, at the very end. This side of the box has the Dragon Gundam all painted up and printed in its actual size, along with a shot of its backside. The other side plugs the other entry in the Mecha Collection line, and this series actually came out before the God Gundam debuted on the show, so the box teases you about this mysterious G Gundam. On the back here, we have the Dragon Gundam once again all painted up, and then flavor text about the G Gundam's timeline, and then about the Dragon Gundam itself with a picture of Sai Saishi. It gets the point across just fine, and you'll notice that they're actually hiding the fact that there's actually not a lot to say about the kit itself. And mind you, that's not a mistake. This whole kit's point is to sell you on the character and not the kit. Inside the box, we have our two runners in a bag here that we saw through the cutout window on the box. And then there's this ad inside, which is actually also the instructions. Then there's this little ordering form for missing parts or runners or any other replacements, for Japan only of course. And actually I got a little bit excited and I cut off all the green parts before I realized we probably should have a quick look at the kit first, so this is the best I can do. Whoops. You can still kinda see most of the parts through the bag if you scroll back the video a little. The stickers here are a little bit half-hearted and they don't actually cover a whole lot. We have this one here that goes onto the front of the crotch area, and then these ones for the rim on each of the shoulders, and then these yellow ones for the vents at the front. And these white ones go on the front skirt armor, and the circle one goes on the crest that's on the chest. And then these two red rectangles are for the front of the knees. The texture of the sticker is an odd and thin paper that I don't think I've seen on any other model kits ever from this time. The ad that we saw earlier is pretty smart, and it upsells you on all the other more expensive kits. So we get the proper 1144 line here, which only went up to Gundam Spiegel at the time because there wasn't even a production photo to show you of God Gundam yet. The 1100 HG kits only had 2 entries, and later on we also got Maxter, Rising, Master, and God Gundam. Then there's the awesome 1 to 60 HG EX kit, which later also got a God Gundam entry. And in the corner is this big tease about the G Gundam and all its upcoming products. Bandai is actually pretty sneaky here, doing a Trojan horse thing here. You get a cheap kit, and we'll soon see how it isn't super good, and then you have this whole ad telling you how much better things can be. It's aspirational, and it's manipulative all at the same time. On the back, we have the actual instructions printed in green. It's pretty sparse because the kit is pretty simple. So after about 20 minutes or so, we have our Dragon Gundam here actually not looking as dreadful as you might think. Primitive, sure, but it's got all the bits of the Dragon Gundam right here. In fact, I think the Spartan look is a little bit better without the stickers, which they don't even cover all the bits they're supposed to, like on the knees. This kit here by itself, with the white and the green, is a nice abstraction of the Dragon Gundam to introduce a younger fan to the design of the MS. And we need to talk about this sheen on the plastic, which wide-eyed viewers will immediately recognize as ABS. Now, in 1994, this has a problem of the edges on the molded parts not being very sharp, and the flat surfaces not being very even. But worse yet, this stuff is pretty hostile to sanding, and it's going to give off a pretty strong smell as well, so it's not going to be a fun time. Builders don't like ABS, and Bandai doesn't use it on their model products. Bandai's toy division, which is entirely separate from the hobby division, does use it, and we see it even today with Candy Toy products. So I was a bit surprised to see this made of ABS, and I suspect it was chosen for its toughness and its tensile strength because younger fans will be buying these kits, and Bandai probably didn't want the kits breaking left and right. Another side effect of the ABS is that it has a lot of friction, and you can see this leg here just refusing to move, springing back into place. That's the price of being nigh indestructible and basically kid-proof. And to use less of that ABS, there's a couple of hollow spaces, like the ones here on the clubby fist, and then the inside of the thighs, and then the inner sides of the feet. It's not ideal, but it's really not as bad as it could be, and most of the parts are properly sandwiched together with two pieces. For the articulation, the tail on the back of the head is on a ball joint and it can be moved around, but the friction can be really stubborn. The head can turn side to side, and it seems like it can look up and down, but that's really just some wiggle room from the peg that connects it. The arms go around a full circle on a single peg, and the forearms actually sit on a ball joint, and they can do a 90-degree bend upwards. The fists in the front do rotate, but the dragon head on the arms block most of the rotation. There isn't a separate upper and lower torso, so there's no waist movement here, nor any skirt armor movement. That in turn means that the legs are trapped in a very narrow range of movements, although the legs are on ball joints and the angle can be adjusted a little bit. The knees can do a decent bend of close to 90 degrees, but the back skirt limits that a little bit. The toe area of the feet can move up and down a little bit. So for 300 yen, you get 300 yen's worth of articulation. Part of it is due to the simple structure like the lack of a waist, but actually part of it is that a 300 yen kit isn't supposed to be good, or else why the heck would you ever buy more expensive kits, right? You can do a punching pose here like this, but really that's about all it can do in terms of expressing action and story. I think being a G Gundam product probably helps it a little bit because they can punch and that makes it easier to play with, because if it's all stiff like this and it still uses a gun, it's gonna get pretty lame pretty fast. But let's see exactly what 200 yen got you in 1994 with this 1144 non-grade Dragon Gundam from my collection. I bet to many of you, these old 1144 kits never look so good, have they? But that's the thing, this is exactly the power of the cheaper Mecha collection kit. In 1994, as a child, you'd have been thrilled to get this 1144 Dragon Gundam after the Mecha collection one, and you'd be pretty amazed at all the extra colors you got. Really, this gives you some perspective of how much modern Gundam model fans take for granted, huh? The Mecha collection is also pretty short, and that's probably to save on materials, and it's not for any other elaborate reason. The scale comes to about 1 to 156. And next, let's bring in the entry-grade RX-78 as our modern example of the ultra-budget model kit. The times really have changed, and we're really spoiled for choices nowadays, with most toys being in full color. We kind of demand it now, whereas back then it was really something reserved for the ultra-lucky kids who got the good stuff. And before we close up this feature video, if you're curious about what the other kits in the line look like, there is a Japanese blogger who bought a few of these and put up a lot of pictures of them. I've included links in the description, so go take a look. So with all that said, the point here really isn't to laugh at the Mecha Collection Dragon Gundam. Sure, it's pretty funny how primitive it is, but I also hope that it's a nice way to experience what it was like to be a very young Gundam fan in 1994, and to see products like this that are meant to complement the TV show. Also, this product is completely abandoned by Bandai because it served its purpose already. We don't need a Trojan horse low-cost model kit anymore, so you're never gonna see this mentioned in any official catalog ever outside of the Gundam Shop CD, and that makes me a little bit sad. But now this has been preserved in video form, and now all of you know about it too. Thank you so much for watching. Come look us up on social media with updates on upcoming videos and sneak peeks at future projects. Links are in the description below. Or hang out here some more with one of these other videos. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos from Hobby Clubhouse, and I'll see you next time.